Let's do it, TruBadger! Looks like we are making connection. Redirecting to YouTube.
I can see you, buddy. You are live.
All right, we're live. Looks good. We're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our TruBadger AMA After the Burn session here today. Let me get my music down. All right. Looks like we're good. Looks like we are making connection. I'm going to turn down my volume. Hey, guys, everybody. Happy Father's Day out there to all the fathers from us here. I got to get my gear, Peter. I got to get my gear on. I need to be wrapped in TruBadger because that's the kind of day I am feeling these days. You guys, we're having a blast here at TruBadger. We're happy to have you guys today. Thank you for joining us. For all of you that were live with us for our first burn party, it was absolutely just incredible. What an amazing time we had. We brought in a newly signed recording artist, Humble G the Fiddler. Go check him out on Spotify. He played for us, and we just had a wild time. We had a dress up as a Badger contest. We had some really cool stuff going on, and ultimately, we just we decided that we would just make this different in the industry and different in the space. And I feel like you guys are noticing. We hope you guys are noticing, and we're having a great time doing it. So today we're going to talk about kind of the aftermath of the burn, and we're going to go over a couple of hot topics that you all have asked us in questions, and you would like founders to answer those for you. Before I introduce our CEO, founder Peter Gantner, I'm going to go over just a little bit of the tokenomics that we have and what we're running with here. And I think you're going to be impressed. You're going to see the difference. You're going to know the difference and stuff like that. So the total supply that we started with is one quadrillion. We've now burned altogether. We burned initially the 200 trillion. On the burn party, Peter, I don't know the exact number. I know it was 6 trillion, 6.1 something ish trillion.
6134865 and a bunch of zeros after that, buddy.
There you go.
A little over 6.1 trillion tokens.
To be exact. I love it. So what does this mean for you guys is we're doing the weekly burns. So once you purchase, once there's a swap on TruBadger, there's a 10% fee tax, okay? And to break that down for you guys, you're looking at a 1% burn. You're looking at a 3% reflection. We've got a the reflection basically is all the holders will be receiving tokens through a static reflection. So anytime there's a swap, that 3% is you as a holder are receiving. The liquidity fund, we're adding 4% to the liquidity fund. So every transaction automatically locks that 4% to the contributes to the locked liquidity pool. All of these components that I'm talking about right now are what strengthens the token project and what creates more value for you as a token holder. Also, we have a 1% that goes to the marketing growth. So this goes into our vision of the long term of TruBadger. So 1% into the marketing fund, and then 1% goes into the innovation and development fund, which is vitally important for the longevity of a project and us having, as you see on a roadmap, a very detailed roadmap going on. And we've already got a few projects in the works that we will be releasing and that have planned for us. So this is a very, very important aspect of what we're doing here. We have our weekly burns that we have the 1% going there as well. So, you're going to get the guaranteed deflation of the token supply. So also what we're doing is a regular contest for all of the hodlers of the TruBadger token, which is 2.5% of all tokens that are allocated to reward the community. What we do also have in place is very attractive to a lot of people, and there's a lot of talk about this in the space, is the anti-whale that we have, the aspect of the anti-whale that we have in place, which is, a very important thing is we don't want anybody to run over the little guys. You see in these other projects, these huge purchases and huge sell-offs, creating this huge volatility in the space. If you take a look at BSC Scan, if you take a look at CoinGecko, we'll soon be on CoinMarketCap here in the next couple of days. Fingers crossed. That the charts are absolutely something incredibly different. I'm sure Peter will talk about that during this time we have today. And the last two things I want to mention real quickly is this, and not to be overlooked, is this world-class team that we have here at TruBadger. We have so many incredible skill sets throughout the entire team, a highly doxed team, and you're going to find, or if you have not found already, that our support, we have live support that's 24/7 that has been helping people walk through their wallet setups, how to swap, the whole 9 yards for you guys. And that's really something else that we're so very proud of that sets us apart. And then ultimately, you guys, we're talking about growing the ecosystem of TruBadger. We're empowering everybody to participate in this huge financial marketplace. So we're keeping it transparent, we're keeping it open, and we're keeping it accessible. So with that being said, I'm going to add on, I don't think I missed anything, Peter. If I did, but you carry on. I'm going to pass it over now to my amazing friend and the brainchild and all things answers and solutions for TruBadger. Peter, I know you're going to discuss what you're going to discuss, but two of the big questions that we have gotten asked in the last few days are one being the liquidity, the locked liquidity, explaining the ins and outs of what liquidity means and the time period and where we locked it, how do they see it, all that good stuff. And then the second part of that is we have been hawking the charts, and there's a lot of talk around the industry and the space of, man, we have never seen a chart look like this before. Everybody wants to know how awesome this is. And so, Peter, over to you, brother.
Well, the chart brings a big smile to my face with what we're doing. And it's not necessarily the value of the token. It's showing the community that we have in place. Essentially what our chart is showing is that we don't have a lot of people that are selling. There's a lot of people buying. We're increasing our token holders on an hourly basis, not a daily basis. We have people, but there's very few of those people that are selling at this point because they believe in the long-term vision of what we're accomplishing. They're getting on board not just to make quick money. They're getting on board because they're saying, wait a minute, this is a special token. It has somewhere to go. It can make a huge difference and be a leader in the space. That's the reason for holding a token. The people that believed in Bitcoin that held on to it have become wealthy. The people that held on to Ethereum, because those were just more than just momentum as far as like hype about, oh, this is the hottest token running up the charts. Let me hurry up and get in. Oh, I'm going to pop out of that one and get into the next one. But when you believe in something, you're going to stick with it. And we've got that strong base in it. I think one of the reasons why we do things a little differently here is we actually understand a lot of the other projects are tech people who understand the technology, and they understand the importance of the technology. And I'm going to say that the technology of the blockchain and of what's being done in cryptocurrency is very valuable. It's very important. However, the most important aspect of it is the community that you build that powers that technology, that uses it, that benefits from it, that shares it out into the world. That is the most important thing. And we do understand that. It's the reason why we don't do automatic burns. Yeah, we could have it where every time a transaction happens, it just burns it, right? And it does it automatically. And we could have a little ticker there that would show it going up slowly. And yeah, that might have some impact. But community is about getting together. It's about experiencing things together at the same time with each other. And that's why we've set up to do weekly burn parties. It was amazing. I mean, it was a party. Music, contest, right? It wasn't just a simple thing. Because I got to tell you guys, burning is it's moving from one wallet to another wallet that has no access to it. So you'll see if you pull us up on BS Scan, the top wallet says burn address. If you click on that, it's a bunch of zeros. And then at the end of it, it says dead wallet. We have no access to that. Matter of fact, no one has any access to it. It's been blocked off from any person having access, even at Binance, right? Where it's on, because it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So those are considered burned or dead tokens. They are no longer in distribution because nobody can cash them out, nobody can transfer them, and that's what it means to burn tokens. Now, Corey had brought up the anti-whale, and definitely the anti-whale is in place, because when we went to do the burn, I'm like 6.134 trillion tokens. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I hit the button, it says failed transaction. What the heck is going on here? Because this is our first burn, right? Outside of the first 200 million, which was done in the contract. So then I sit there and I go, okay, well, let me try again. Failed transaction. Oh, wait a minute. We have an anti-whale in place in the contract. The contract doesn't realize it's me. The contract doesn't realize it's going to the burn wallet. All it knows is you cannot move that many tokens at any one time. So I ended up having to do the burn in 4 separate transactions, 2 trillion tokens each, and then that one. So that was great to know that our technology is working. If you guys go out to CoinSniffer, you will see that we have all green check marks down the list. And I've got to say, that's actually pretty unique in this space, as in most of the deflationary reflection tokens will at least have 1 red check mark. And that red check mark is usually, is there a similar contract? Our contract was written from scratch. It was built on the tokenomics that we had put in place and the long-term vision that we have for the future, which is now we're going to get into one of the biggest questions that people have, which is about liquidity. Okay, so you'll see a lot of projects will talk about they put the liquidity on PancakeSwap and they burn the LP. So it's locked there permanently. It's locked there forever. And there's other people that have put 4-year locks on their liquidity. We at TruBadger have put a 90-day lock on the wallets and a 105-day lock and a 120-day lock. So we've spread those out. That liquidity is permanently allocated to the community, benefit the community right now through LP. The only way that can change is if the community, once we have our governance in place, decides to change what it's allocated for. But to us, it is permanently set for liquidity. Why did we not lock it for a longer period of time? That's some of the questions that people ask. What if in 90 days we decide that there's something better to do with it from a liquidity standpoint, because that's all it can be used for us, to improve the situation? Maybe there's a new platform that comes up that is a better fit for us than maybe where we're at right now. Maybe in the next 90 days, something happens with PancakeSwap. You know, it is a project just like we're a project. It just happens to be a platform. We have seen things happen with platforms before, where maybe there's an internal problem or a hack, or maybe there's some regulation that changes that makes that there. So what we don't want to do is tie our ship to thinking that PancakeSwap will always be the best solution out there. Matter of fact, you can see with a lot of projects that they've locked their liquidity when it was version 1 on PancakeSwap. Well, guess what? They've locked it. They've burned the LP. They can't move it to 2. They can't move it over to V2. Well, if V1's not being supported today, that's working. But what about in 6 months or a year or 2 years or 3 years? What about when Pancake version 3 comes out, or version 4? And there's things on 3 and 4 that would enhance the value of our token, enhance the value of liquidity. They've locked it. They've burned it in that place. So guys, I believe it's the integrity behind the team that will determine how far a project can go and what's going to be there. Not necessarily just doing things that are very short-sighted. Locking liquidity or burning it right now, to me, is them saying, look what we've done, so you can drive up the value of their token so they can exit it at some point at a high valuation. We have a long-term vision of this. I see this 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. And the problem is my crystal ball, I put it in the shop. And so I couldn't use it to tell me what the future looks like over the next 20, 30 years in the blockchain space and in here. So what did we need to do when we put this together? We needed to make it flexible enough to where we could do what we need to do today to protect you guys, but also do what we'll need to do down the road to protect the token holders, to protect the people that we're building this with and for. So that's the reason why we've done the liquidity the way we have. We staggered it because, and again, if we do not have governance in place, absolutely positively, guys, when the 90 days is up, we'll relock it again for another 90 days. And we staggered it so there will always be some lock liquidity in place as we're moving from that process. It takes about a minute or two to relock it. It is locked on deck sales. We will be putting the links to that lock liquidity in there. We've put the liquidity in 3 separate wallets. It's an equal amount in each wallet in order to give us that flexibility. Let's say there is another platform, the 90 days is up, and we just want to move a third of that over. We can pull that liquidity from PancakeSwap and we can put it into another project. But again, as far as I'm concerned, that is liquidity there. That liquidity belongs to the token holders. We also have some other tokens sitting in another wallet that belongs to the token holders. It's not my tokens, it's not Corey's, it is the project's tokens, and the project is then essentially owned by the community. And I say essentially right now because we're just putting the structure in place where 100% this will be owned by the token holder. So if you're a token holder, you essentially have value in that liquidity. And what is liquidity? Liquidity essentially gives a floor to the price of it. So when you want to go swap your BNB for TruBadger or your TruBadger for BNB, instead of finding somebody in a normal situation, I want to buy a car, I have to find somebody who has a car who wants to sell a car, and then we have to negotiate a price and I give it to them. Okay, that's how it works in that situation. With the liquidity side of things, there's what in the normal situation when it comes to stocks and all this other stuff, there's market makers. These are wealthy people who, when you want to sell your asset, they are there to buy it, and then when somebody wants to buy it, they have it to sell. So they have both sides of that equation. So liquidity is BNB and TruBadger token that is allocated simply for anybody when they want to buy TruBadger and when anybody wants to sell their TruBadger, that they can do that instantly. So it helps stabilize the marketplace and gives much better liquidity to it as far as, and that's why it's called LP, right? Liquidity. So that's how that fits in, and it makes it to where the market goes very well. That way, if you want to go buy a cheeseburger and you have some TruBadger tokens and you need your $10 to pay for your cheeseburger, you can instantly push the button, get your crypto, and then go buy your cheeseburger. All right, Corey, any other questions, buddy?
Yeah, wonderfully said. We have a couple of questions that tie into each other. So basically, what's in the works to keep the momentum going through marketing, and can we scale? And can we scale with this, the support to onboard all new small holders that need help? The next question basically rolls into that same question.
So guys, we are going to have Zoom setups where we can help people get into it. We're going to be figuring that out tomorrow, where probably about an hour or 2 hours a day, we'll have somebody getting on. It'll be a set time, meaning it'll change. It'll be like from this time to this time, we're going to help you on. So we love doing that, and we'll have somebody available to be able to do that. We've also produced a lot of videos and things for that. And of course, in the Telegram, we have tons of people that are when people are having problems, they're asking them and then saying, hey, let's jump on a Zoom. So that is a definite thing that will continue with that process to make that happen. As far as marketing goes, wow, guys, we are getting barraged with people saying they can do marketing for us. But I got to tell you, and I think this is one of the problems with the other projects are, if somebody says, hey, I can do marketing, we want this much money, they just send them the money. We have to do our due diligence on all the marketing, because that wallet ultimately belongs to the token holders, right? And if we mismanage that and just spend it crazy in a crazy way, we're not going to have the benefits that we have. So knowing that it's not my money, knowing that it's not Corey's money, we want to make sure that we're doing the best job possible in that marketing. So we are right now looking at a lot of influencers to bring them on board and get them started. We've had some that reached out that say, look, I have 97,000 people. But when we go look at the last 10 videos they've done, they do not move the market at all, meaning they're having very little to no benefit on it. So we are working on that. We are going to start this week with paid advertising in social media. So that will all start here very soon. We are getting ready to hit the PR button and start to launch our PR. So a lot of people, and I've been doing this a long time in marketing, they start their PR too early. And so then they, a publication can only really write about you once in the beginning, and then you have to do a bunch of stuff, and then they might be able to write about you a second time. If you have them write too early before you've actually accomplished anything, then you may be wasting a lot of that PR. And so that's why we've held back a little bit. This is from experience. And now we've hit some pretty good milestones, 2,000 plus holders over the charts. Corey mentioned the charts in the beginning of this, guys. I've never seen a chart like this. And actually, there's only been 2 points in the last 24 hours where we've had more sell volume than buy volume. However, I don't think that the algorithms in the pricing model of giving us our market cap even knows what to do, because they just haven't seen another token act this way. And that, again, that's not us, that's you guys. That's people purchasing tokens that are saying, I'm not letting go of these tokens because I understand the ecosystem side of this. I understand I don't have just a meme token. And again, there's nothing wrong with meme tokens. Look, we have a meme contest going right now. I got to tell you, when you talk about the value of memes, memes have value. We're looking at these things laughing. We're having a good time. And what's the best medicine, right? It is clear that there's a saying that says laughter is the best medicine. So if memes create laughter in your life, if they create joy in your life, then they do create value. We're just not that alone, right? We're much more than that. And that's, I think, what's attracting people to it, as well as we have relationships with a lot of the people because we are a fully doxed team. If nobody knows who you are, how do you have the people that you have a relationship with get behind your token and be a part of that? And we do have thousands of people who know us, who we've helped in the throughout these last few years with personal development, with all different types of things. And they're saying, hey, we believe in this team. We know them. We're going to stick with them and buy it. And you can see that in the charts and where we're going from there. Any other questions, Corey?
Thanks for that, buddy. Yeah, so just looks like one more question, and I see this all the time, being in other chats and stuff like that. But the question really basically revolves around us being listed on Binance.
Oh my goodness, guys, I got to tell you, I would love for that to take place. And of course we would, because that is the biggest audience in the crypto sphere, right? In the whole space, getting listed there. But they're also the toughest because everybody wants to be on there, right? Everybody wants to, not just for us, for every single token out there, Binance is the crown jewel right now because it has the most customers. And of course, if you're selling a product, you want to be just like with retail for a long time, right? Walmart was the crown jewel. If you got in Walmart, you had a giant smile on your face. In my past life as an entrepreneur, we were in the toy industry. And the day we got signed to be in a Happy Meal, I was like freaking out, right? Because that's the crown jewel of the toy industry, right? It's to have your product in a Happy Meal. So Binance is definitely the crown jewel. That is going to take some time. I'm not gonna, try to say, oh, I think we'll be there next week or in the next few weeks. A lot of it's going to come down to Binance people, the people that have Binance accounts voting. They have regular voting to what tokens do you want to see on there. It's going to take an overwhelming response. I believe at this point, even SafeMoon has not made it onto Binance at this time, and they have several million. So I don't know, maybe they look at us and see us differently and decide to put us on there. I wish I could make the decision. I mean, you know, maybe they'll run a contest, be Binance CEO for the day, and then we can vote me in to Binance CEO, because you guys know which token would be listed like in a second. They wouldn't even have a chance. I'd walk in the door of the office and we'd be pushing the button, getting TruBadger listed on there, because we know we have a long-term plan. We have a future. We are going to build this incredible ecosystem. And there's no group of people on the planet that deserve to have that token on Binance so it can zoom and create as much value as possible than the community that we've built here with TruBadger. It's just absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We could probably end it out with one of the most asked questions is, guys, where do we get that swag?
Oh man, I gotta tell you. So right now we have some swag on Etsy. You can just go put TruBadger official in there, and that'll come up. By the way, guys, every time you buy swag, you do put money towards the burn. So a portion of every sale goes into the burn fund, and that'll be done. So when we start having burn parties, as the revenue is coming in, we'll have two types of burns. One will be the fee burn, which will be on the transactions, and a second will be a revenue burn off of the project. So every project we get involved with needs to provide some revenue towards us buying tokens off the marketplace and burning those, unless once governance is in place, you guys decide you want us to do something else with that revenue. Right now, though, it's permanently allocated towards burning tokens until you guys make that decision or decide to change that. So in about 2 weeks, guys, we will have the official, maybe 3 weeks, I don't want to lock in, the official store in place where you'll be able to get shirts, hats, all the different swag that's going to be created and that's out there. So that is coming in the next few weeks. Right now we have a tumbler, a mug, and a keychain that are on Etsy that you can go out and get. And again, a portion of that's going to go to the revenue. And it's easy, just go to Etsy and put in TruBadger official, and that should bring up the swag that's there.
Thank you so much, Peter. I think that's it for the questions for this AMA. I do want to say thank you, guys. I want to lead you to our next AMA, which will be on Tuesday. I am double checking the time. Somebody can follow me up. But if you do join our Telegram chat, you'll see we have an amazing Discord channel as well, guys. So if you are on our site, you can check out all our social media tabs. Definitely join our Discord and Telegram. If you like what you're seeing, please comment, follow, subscribe, share with your friends, share on your social media. We appreciate the help, especially as token holders or future token holders. It's very important to help us as a community project to build a huge, which is already a huge, strong foundation. But our next AMA will be a special one. It's the ladies of TruBadger. We're going to have an incredible time. You guys are going to be able to meet the first part of our women who have contributed up and over the top of their sacrifice, their true skills and dedication to the TruBadger project. So go to our Telegram. We'll get the time there. I know it's Tuesday. It's either 11 a.m. or it's 7 p.m. We're trying to mix the times around for you guys. We know this is a worldwide project, so we're trying to cater to everybody from every corner of the earth. But as we go, we just want to say thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to, and just, I don't know, where are we at right now? We're looking at, we're just crossing 19.3 million market cap. So we are heading to the new all-time high, guys. Thank you so much. Peter, does that excite you?
Oh, it really excites me, I got to tell you. Also, guys, one of the way you guys can help us is on the YouTube side of things. We want to bring some influencers on. If we can show the influencers that we can create value for them, that it's going to cost us less money to get them, the bigger influencers, to get stuff done. So I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of those influencers can cost tens of thousands of dollars to get them on board to go ahead and share. If we can show value, so there's been a few videos that have been produced on YouTube. If you guys can go out to YouTube, put in TruBadger, have those videos come up and play those like those and share those and subscribe to their channels, if we can show that we're going to provide value back to the YouTubers, we are going to be able to get more on board. And I would hope that some more would decide to do it just because they love the token. But we do understand that's how they make a living. And we, by the way, we will only go with YouTubers that believe in our project and that are excited about our project. I have a huge meeting tomorrow with an influencer. I'm not going to say just a YouTuber, because much more outside that, that can bring a lot to the table. And that's what we're talking about, is they're excited about the project. They reached out to us and they said, hey, we're really excited about this project. Can we sit down and talk about how we can help you move your project forward? So that's the type of stuff that we're looking for. Those are the type of deals that we're going to put ourselves in. So I'm going to say thank you guys. And TruBadger, the best community in the world, the best.